Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Ignited Minds. Today, we are going to read about a poem by R.W. Emerson. Now, children, this poem is going to ignite the patriotism in you. You're going to relate yourself to your country more and more. You're going to understand the basic aspects of building a nation and how a nation can be called as a strong nation. Now, if I ask you what are the qualities that make a nation strong, I would like to know these answers in the comment box before you see. Answer in the comment box and tell me what qualities make a country strong. Now let us read the poem one by one and understand the answer to it ourselves. The first stanza says, "What makes a nation pillars high and its foundation strong?" Now, in the starting of the stanza only, the poet has asked a question directly to the readers who are reading the poem, and the question is, what do you think makes a nation strong? How can you define the strength of a nation? How can you say that the foundation are the values? Now, if I say that a child foundation has to be strong, I mean that a child has to be morally strong, physically strong, emotionally strong. And when I talk about emotionally and morally, I mean the values that he possessed: honesty, kindness, sympathy, empathy. So how do you define the foundations of a country or a nation? What are the parameters? The poet is asking a question directly. What makes it mighty to defy the foes that round it throng? Foes here means enemy, and throng is another way of saying like a kingdomship or a rajgati where the king sit. So what makes it mighty? What makes a country powerful? Mighty means big and powerful. To defy, to defeat the enemies, defeat the foes. Foes here means enemy. So what is the strength? What does the strength possessed by a king that it defies the enemy that comes across his kingdom? So what are the parameters? What are the basic points the poet is asking? Now the second stanza. It is not gold, it is kingdoms grand go down in the battle shock. Now here gold means economy. The poet wants to say that if you are thinking it is gold or it is economy that makes a country or a nation strong, then my dear, you are wrong. Because if economy had made the country strong, that there would not be any destruction in the world. If economy was the factor or the parameter, then there would be no war, and after war there would be no problem if economy was the main factor. Its shafts are laid on sinking sand, not an abiding rock. And the poet says, and those nations which feel that economy is the pillar to a nation's strength, I'm sorry to say, their shafts means those kingdoms are made on sinking sand. Sinking sand means a sand that can sink any time. If any problem comes, if any wave comes, that sand might sink. That means the foundation of those countries or nation is not strong. They are built on sinking sand and not on abiding rock. Abiding means strong rocks which are permanent. So such nations which consider economy as the first factor of the pillar of any nation's strength, their foundation is made on a sinking sand and not permanent rock. That means those nations cannot survive for longer time. Their foundation is really weak. Third stanza. Is it the sword? Ask the red dust of empires passed away. Now the poet says, forget about the economy. Is it the sword? Now sword here means the strength. Now the poet wants to ask if it is a sword, it is the strength that people have, like the physical strength of the soldiers. And if it is the physical strength, then ask the red dust. Now red dust here means the dust that became red in color because so many people were killed. The blood has turned their stones to rust. That means the blood of the emperors, the blood of the soldiers have turned the dust to red. So had it been the case that sword or the strength of the people was the parameter to define a nation's strength, then why would people die? Their glory to decay, and now their glory is decayed into the grounds. And is it pride? Now the poet in the first stanza says, what about pride? Do you feel it is pride? Ah, that bright crown has seemed to nations sweet. Now the poet asks, do you think that if a king is having proud in himself, so the country is going to follow him and they are going to be strong? No, it is not the true case. Why? But God has struck its luster down in ashes as it fades, because no matter how proud can a king be, how bright, how smart a king can be, there is nothing more lustrous than God. The shining light of God is above all. So we cannot say that it is pride of a human that defines the country. It is just the luster, the shine of the God, his image, that is above all. And everybody turn into ash under his feet. All humans are merely ashes, and they die, and in the form of ash they are collected under his feet. Not gold, but only men can make a people great and strong. Now, here the poet gives the answer himself, and he says that not even gold, no strength, no pride, no external factor can make a nation strong, but it is the people of the country, the people of the nation who can make it strong. Men who for truth and honor's sake stand fast and suffer long. Such men who stand and fight for their country's honor, for their country's dignity, for the truth, for the perseverance. People like these who stand for their right, for their country rights, a country pride and strength depends, and it goes on such factors. Brave men who work while others sleep. Now, brave basically it is soldier. The people who work, and now in coronavirus pandemic, I see not only soldiers, doctors, policemen, everybody is being a warrior. So the poet says all those who are working while people are sleeping, they are the true strength of the nation. Who dare while others fly, who dare to do such thing when other people are just sleeping. They build a nation's pillar deep and lift them to sky. So these people are basically the strength of any nation, who make the pillars of their nation quite high in the sky, and the roots are strongly built inside the ground. So these gold, these crowns, these crowd, anything pride is not a matter, is not something that can be decided as the company's or the country's strength, but it is the men, it is the people who work for their country despite of the severe conditions which are not favorable to them, who fly when others are sleeping, who work when others are sleeping. These are the people who make the pillars of the country deep grounded, and they reach high in the sky. I hope, children, this poem was clear to you. If you have understood this video, please go like and subscribe my YouTube channel. Share it with your friends who might belong to some other boards. I hope I was of great help to you. Please keep sharing this video. Till then, keep learning and keep sharing. Have a great day.